Hello my friends, and welcome to another episode of Magnum videos. Have you ever wanted to learn how to draw? That's what this video is about, so stick around and we'll get started right after the intro. For those of you who don't know, I am a visual artist. I started out in high school as a draftsman. I went from there to architectural drawing and architectural rendering. Got into graphic design, graphic arts, package design, illustration, and then finally I became a wildlife artist. So I do know a little bit about drawing, and that's what I wanted to share with you this evening. One of the things that you need to have a good understanding of is perspective. And we're going to talk tonight about single point perspective and 2-point perspective. And if you ever want to draw anything, whether it's buildings, bridges, landscapes, people, wildlife, whatever it may be, you need to have an understanding of perspective and how it works. So let's get started. I'm going to show you a real simple example or two just with a pencil and a piece of paper, and show you the principles of perspective and how you can use it in your drawings. So let's move the camera and get started. Now, I realize this is not the best setup, the best lighting, but I think you'll understand the principles of this simple example once we get started. What we're going to do, perspective involves a couple of characteristics. You have to have a horizon and you have to have a vanishing point. So in single point perspective, we're going to start out here and we're just going to draw a simple building. We're going to put a horizon line in here. I hope you can see that. And we're going to put a vanishing point over here where the X is. Now we're going to start our building as if we are looking at one side of it straight on. So we will draw the face of the building right here, and we'll draw the other corner or the other side of the building right over here. And we'll put the base of the building down here at the bottom, and the top of the building, obviously, at the top. Okay, I hope you can see that. All right, now we have a vanishing point over here. So any lines for this side of the building have to go toward that vanishing point. Now we will take a line back from here and a line back from here. And both of these lines run toward that vanishing point. And then we have the back side of the building there. All right. Now let's say that there's a door in this building, and all of the vertical lines will remain going vertical on this single point perspective. We have a door, one side of the door here. We're going to have the top of the door again going back to the vanishing point, and we're going to have the other side of the door here. Now if you want some windows, you can add those as well. We'll just put a couple of windows in here. And one thing to remember, that as the image goes away from you, things get smaller. So if this window is a foot wide on your drawing, This window will need to be slightly less than that because it's further away. And then let's put in the bottom of the windows. And run those vertically that way. And you can do all this with just light construction lines if you want to. Now let's go back, since we've got that part done, and we'll go ahead and outline this with a little bit darker pen so you can see the lines a little better, hopefully. As I said, this isn't the most professional setup here to do this, but it's what we have to work with at this point. All right, and then we got the door here, and the other side of the door. The main thing to remember is that all of the lines on the side go back to the vanishing point. And that's critical, otherwise your drawing is going to look awkward and incorrect. This is not the best tool to use for this. I apologize that this is coming out kind of horsey, but anyway, this is what we've got to work with at this point. All right, so that's your single point perspective, which is this point right over here. Now, if you wanted to, you could put some bricks in here if you wanted to. This is, everything is going to be going horizontal on this first plane on this side because we're facing this building straight on. All right, so this would be your bricks if you want to go into the detail of that. And as you can see, they go that straight across that way, and if you wanted to put bricks on the other surface, they would obviously go back to the vanishing point. And they would go kind of like that. Okay? Now I hope that's helpful. Let me see if I can give you a better shot of this. Just like so. Very simple, very plain, but it just expresses or illustrates a principle. Now let's go to the two-point perspective, and I'll show you the difference. Alrighty, we have a clean sheet of paper. Now, obviously, in two-point perspective, you have two vanishing points. We still have a horizon line, so we're going to go ahead and drop that in. And you know, if you're doing a drawing like this, you want to start out with just light construction lines to begin with. Now we're going to put a vanishing point over here and a vanishing point over here. Now in this example, we're going to be looking at the corner of the building rather than the flat surface dead ahead of us. So we're going to start out with get something to get some idea of distance here. All right, we're going to go from here to there. Now, in this case, this surface of the building is going to go toward the vanishing point. So we're going to go back that way. This surface is going to go toward this vanishing point. So we're going to go back this way. And the top surface is also going to go, the top edge rather, is also going to go toward the vanishing point. And this top edge is going to go toward this vanishing point. So we have a building here that has two surfaces, two sides, and they both go back toward a vanishing point. Now, let's put a door in here like we did on the other one. Again, going to this vanishing point over here, and we're going to put a couple of windows also, just like the other one. Okay? So we've got the door. Again, the vertical lines remain vertical. We've got the door there. And we've got a window edge here, and a window edge here, and a window edge here, and a window edge here. And the bottom of these windows go toward the vanishing point. Obviously, I didn't bring those down quite far enough. And then if you want to, you can go back and put in some mullions in here to divide these windows. Again, going toward the vanishing point. And we can put some vertical mullions in here too, so that we have like 4-panel windows. And obviously you would want to measure this all out so that it worked right. We can also put another, like a long window on this side if we want to. Let's make this window height the same as the other window height, so I'll just mark that. We're going to have like a long picture window kind of situation going on there. We'll mark this to get a reference point there. All right, and this could be like a showroom window or something if it's like a car dealership or whatever you're creating. And then we can put some additional lines in here to separate this a little bit. And as I mentioned, you would need to obviously measure this out. Now let's go back in and darken it up so you can see what's actually going on here a little bit better than these light construction lines. Back in the Middle Ages, I think it was, artists knew about perspective, but they didn't understand that exactly what was going on. They knew that when people were at a distance from them, they looked smaller. So the story has it that they used to send scribes out with a piece of parchment or whatever and a pen and ink, and have them walk away from the observer and write down what it felt like to get smaller. So that's the story anyway. The main thing to remember is you have to have a horizon line, and the perspective or the vanishing points all have to be on that vanishing line or that horizon line. All right, and we have our door over here and our two windows. We're just about done. And obviously, as I mentioned before, you can measure this out so that everything is more symmetrical and more accurate. But we're just doing this for illustrative purposes this evening so that you can see exactly how this is done. Okay, so that's two-point perspective with the same building but looking at it from the corner instead of from one of the sides. So I think that's it for now. Let me move the camera back and we'll sign off. As I mentioned, I think that's it for now. It's a real simple lesson. Give it a try, do some practice. Go back and watch the video again if you need to get some clarification on it, and see how you do. If you've always wanted to draw, it's very important that you understand perspective because it affects every part of your drawing and every topic, every subject that you create. So, as I said, I think that's it for tonight. So until I speak with you again, and even after that, you stay focused.